Okay, we are live. What's going on?
What's up, everybody?
Hey, nobody's in here yet. Thank God. Or not thank God. Oh man, what a week. How you been doing?
I'm good.
Me too.
It's
Been
been really hot out this week, so I got like second summer, so that's been really nice.
yeah,
Got a new set of tires on my car.
awesome possum.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Tennessee later this week. My birthday's this week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So
That's
gonna go hang
nice.
out in gonna hang out in Nashville
Oh yeah.
with one of my besties. Yep. She lives down there.
Hey, we got Lucy's sweater puppies. Hi, Chris. Always a pleasure. On the road, so it's a quick hi. How are you doing, sweetie?
Hey, Lucy.
Yeah, she's one that comes over from Bobby Nick's side of things. How are you doing, sweetheart? Everybody seems to be going on road trips these days. But that's
Hmm.
cool. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be diving into some satanic bullshit here in a little bit.
I saw the new Conjuring movie. Speaking of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was it? How was it? I want to know.
According to my son, it's the exact same as all the others. It's the exact same like storyline and the same
Yeah,
premise, and like they just regurgitated everything.
really.
So yeah, it was okay. I'd give it like a C plus or a B minus. It was I don't know. It wasn't bad, but it could have definitely been better. Hey, there's Will right there.
Hey, what's up?
I was just telling him Will about our conversation last night.
Yeah, and yeah, I wish I would have known a little bit sooner. Um, yeah, you want to keep everybody busy. I can get actually let me send this to them.
Oh, thanks, Lucy, for the happy birthday. I just saw that. Yeah, if anybody has any experience in Nashville, any suggestions on somewhere I should eat or somewhere I should go see or something I should do, we've got our own kind of little itinerary planned, but we're always open for suggestions. So if anybody's been to Nashville, knows like a good barbecue place or a really good dive bar, that'd be fun.
All right, there, I sent it to you.
Cool. So join us if you'd like to, Will. I did like I said last night. We wasn't even sure we were going to do this. Chris messaged me a little bit, and I was like, "Yep, I can wing it." I was out in town doing some mom stuff, but
Yeah, I been doing some research on what's called Group 764, and also the Order of Nine Angels.
I looked into that 764 because you mentioned it, and yeah, it's pretty gross. It's
It's
that's disgusting.
yeah. Anytime if you got kids, please monitor what they do online. If you come across anything that might seem a little shady, don't hesitate. Call the police. Do something about it. Protect your kids because these people are horrible, horrible people. And it seems like they get off on, you know, making kids, blackmailing them, making them hurt themselves for their entertainment, uh, you know, cutting into themselves. It's horrible what they do.
It literally said satanic and demonic, and yeah, it's preying on kids and kids that are open to suggestion and kids that are not being parented or supervised. And unfortunately, that's so many kids these days. Like everywhere, every time we go out, every we go out to eat probably twice a week, and every time I point out to my because I'm a real parent. My child was not raised on a screen. Um, but everywhere we go, there's the kid with the parent, and the kid's got the tablet or the phone, and it's, even a father and a son, a teenage son and the dad, and you can tell the dad just has the kid for like Wednesday night or whatever, and they're both on their phones, just not even spending any time together. That father has no idea what that kid's looking at.
Yeah. I've actually I dealt with it with my last girlfriend and her daughter, and it was a fucking nightmare to say the least.
They get addicted to it. The
Oh
kids get
yeah,
so addicted to it that then it's just easier for the parent to just let
yeah,
them.
and yeah, and the minute that you try to step in and do something, they flip out and
How
spook out on
dare
you.
you? Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah,
then yeah, because they know that it's bad parenting, and you're highlighting that.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I went through it, and it was just horrible. Uh, it almost got us into a lot of trouble, and this local police department, they ended up confiscating her phone. And then her phone got confiscated by OSBI, which is Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations, and they got it confiscated by the FBI. So it turned out to be a big ordeal. The people that she was communicating with online, uh, what was going on. I don't want to go into details about it, but it's done and over with, thank God. But it was a nightmare, and to this day, she hated us for what happened, because yeah, she thought she was in love with whoever these people were. So, and that's that's one thing I noticed when I was diving into this. They get people to do these horrible things, and after they do it, they'd sit there and tell them that they love them. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like they're seeking that attachment to somebody that loves them.
No, it's absolutely, and unfortunately, I know someone else, a little girl that's again my child's age, and her parents. One of them works all the time, and the other one is busy on his phone and on his computer in the bathroom doing God knows only what. And this little girl was literally preyed upon, and like she had these quote boyfriends, and they were this guy was getting her to figure out how she could get away and go get on the Amtrak, the train or whatever, the bus up in Indianapolis. And I mean,
Wow.
this girl, they were plotting it out, and thank God they found out. But I mean, and the police were involved, the FBI was involved. The guy ended up being like 21 years old. It
Ooh,
was, yeah, trying to get a 14-year-old at the time to come see him. Like it's so dangerous.
yeah,
I
that's
had no
really
idea though that it was as bad as the 764 stuff that we're going to have to be careful talking about. But yeah, like
yeah.
it's
The 764 stuff, and they prey on was it Minecraft and what's that other game? Roblox,
Roblox.
Roblox, and Discord, which Discord has become just a cesspool here lately. Hey, Saw, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. So again, my child, because of all the Roblox stuff, there's been a bunch of like PDF stuff going on there, and
Oh God.
it sucks because my son was creating video games on there and actually, doing a lot of good. And he had a lot of friends on there. And when all this went down about a month ago, he stopped. A lot of people stopped. They got off of Roblox and all the different little games that Roblox like is a server for or whatever,
Yeah,
because because of how Roblox changed everything. Like now they made it so that it's easy for adults to talk to the kids, and they changed it all. So
oh God.
thank God
Yeah,
he tells me about this stuff, and he's even ahead of the game because he saw it coming down the pipeline, and he was asking me who Chris Hansen was, and the Catch a Predator guy, and it's like, how do you know about this? But yeah,
crazy, ain't it?
I'm glad that he's aware and that he has discernment. Thank God he's got his mama's discernment, you know what I mean? But it's like I can definitely find out any more info about that, and he hasn't heard of any of the 764 crap. Thankfully, he's not. But
Yeah,
then again, he stays away from anything. Like as soon as stuff gets dark or negative or bullying or whatever, he goes to a different server or
yeah.
whatever. So
All right, so 764 was this group started by this guy named Bradley. Well, he wasn't a guy. He was, I believe, 15 at the time. Bradley Cadenhead, out of Texas. And 764 has to do with the town's zip code. 764, they have 01 and 02. So that's why he started calling the place. And he was bullied, and he started this group. And later on, this group crosses paths with this other group called Order of the Nine Angels, which is a satanic cult. It's a satanic left hand path and terrorist network that originated in the United Kingdom that has branched out into other parts of the world. And did I hear a ding ding?
Yeah, that was my phone. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought somebody was coming on or something. I didn't
No.
know. Now, luckily, I don't think this guy's going to see light of day anytime soon. Let me find this. Let me load this up right here.
My phone, that was Art giving my announcement that we're live, so that's weird. So maybe now a few more
Oh,
people come in.
yeah, it takes some time for it to go through. All right, share screen. Because right now he is in the Texas penal system, and he,
Penal.
yeah, whatever. uh, there's his dates: possession with intent, promo, child porn. I don't know what all exactly that means, but here's his sentence: he's 20 years, 20, 20, 20. So we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. All right, there's 160 years of charges. So thank God he's not going to see light of day anytime soon.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's him. And he's only 20 years old.
I think he deserves a little bit stronger penalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we need to save some money on this one.
Yeah. I think you're right on that one. So, and that's how he started. So, yeah, anytime you feel like your kids may be in danger, don't hesitate to blow the whistle on it. So next thing you know, man, they'll just disappear into the system. They'll be missing. They'll be exploited, and God knows what'll happen. But yeah, three mass shootings. Jesus Christ! I sent you a link. You're more than welcome to come up here and fill us in on all of this. I know I've heard these mass shootings. They like putting symbols, and some of these mass shootings might actually be tied in with this Order of the Nine Angels. Apparently,
Well, if you should have went a little bit further, because remember when I said I wanted to talk about that the Delphi case up here in Indiana,
yeah,
it involves a satanic group as well, and that is involved with like the police are kind of involved, and it's this order, and it's like a secret society, and it's there's a lot of these that are that we don't even know about. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah. These are bad times right now. It really
what
is.
is that one?
But that's their symbol they use. And like I said, they prey on your kids through Discord and these video games.
The Vinlanders is the one I'm talking about. It's there's so
What?
many of them. It's called the Vinlanders. It's a Vinlander social club.
How you spell it?
Vinlanders,
Okay.
and it's a white nationalist group practicing the racist form of Odinism. And they are supposedly behind the two 13-year-old girls that got unalived here in Indiana a few years ago, and it was blamed on this guy who just admitted he was in the area when actually, come to find out, it's this Odinism group and these Vinlanders, and
Yeah.
it's a deep dive that we'll get into another day too. But it's one of these groups.
Wow.
It's it's a lot going on, and nobody's talking about it other than the locals. The locals know all about it. There's some paganism involved, and again, the police are involved. Like some of the police are belong to this club, so it'd be pretty easy to get their buddies off the hook. But
Did you see that the dumbass leftist set Ice Cube's crew bus on fire because it said ice?
we talked about that last night on Will.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What
hilarious.
what happened?
So
I haven't heard this.
Ice Cube was like on tour, and Portland. I think he was in Portland. I could
Oh,
have that
that
wrong.
figures.
Yeah, I could have that wrong, but he was in a city, and his tour bus got vandalized and like set on fire, like because they thought that he was a part of the ICE detention people. Like this is how stupid these people are. They attacked Ice Cube's tour bus because they thought that it was the ICE detention people.
Oh my god.
Like how stupid. I mean, again, it's why I've just kind of hid back in my little area. Like society is so screwed up right now, and like yeah, William's right. Like there is something going on. There's something weird going on. But whenever whenever Republicans are in office, all of a sudden we have tons of mass shootings. That's just how it's been. That was one of the first things that I recognized like 8, 12 years ago. I joked about it. I was like, well, here come the
and
mass shootings. And it's all false flag, psyop, gun grab, bullcrap. You know what I mean? There's always another hidden agenda behind it. There's always some other program working the scenes just to kind of make them look bad in a way. It's like, look, these guys don't know what they're doing. We're having all these mass shootings. Yeah, in downtown Indianapolis 20 years ago, when we were ran by a Republican mayor and governor, I could walk the streets of downtown Indianapolis at 4 and 5 a.m., multiple blocks after work to my car, and never once did I have a problem. Now that we have a Democrat mayor, there's literally feces on the streets of Indianapolis, and there's zombies walking around because they're on drugs, and it's how can you deny it when you can see,
look
you know?
look at Chicago. That mayor tossed the whole fucking police department under the bus, saying they're evil, they're corrupt, and you know, society doesn't have no need for police or prisons. And I was like, what the fucking? It's already costing them, man. The fucking it's turning into a war zone up in Chicago.
I've seen a little bit of that. I actually saw because I kind of live near there. There was a little local news person, like just independent journalist who drives around the south side of Chicago in the middle of the night, and oh my god, is it busy. There are so many people out and about right now. Like it's at like midnight, it's like 5 in the afternoon. There's just people everywhere.
Yeah. And he's got the audacity to say that crime's down. Well, yeah, crime's down because you're not charging anybody with anything. It's it's horrible. And they say, oh, Republicans need to tone down their rhetoric. You got them Trump as a fascist. We're Nazis. MAGA is not welcome here. MAGA extremists are a threat to our democracy. Hell, you got Newsom saying this the other day. He'd like to punch Trump in the face. You got Jeffries, their leader of their party, saying, you know, wanting to fight out in the streets. I mean, where in the hell is this? They just don't get it.
Well,
It's just
Indiana, I just learned today, is leading the pack in getting illegals off the street. I had no idea, but they turned. We have a military base called Camp Atterbury,
yeah,
and it has now been turned into a detention center. And so they said, like Indiana, like we're leading in getting these illegals off the street and getting them like detained and sent back.
yeah.
And I like last year, the last few years, you could not go to a state park here in Indiana because it was flooded with illegals. They were everywhere. And I was like, they were living in the parks. They could get free passes from the library to literally camp and stay in the state parks like all summer long. And this year, since Trump took over, we went to a birthday party on Labor Day, and I said, "What do you want to bet that this park's going to be empty now?" And I was right, completely empty. We had our pick of every single picnic table we wanted, every single area, and now it makes sense because sure enough, they did. They came in and got them all out of here, and now they're down at Camp Atterbury. So, I mean, Indiana's doing its job, I guess.
Yeah, I just wish these sanctuary states would knock their shit off because they're causing a lot of problems there. But
That's what I'm saying. We're right next to Illinois and Chicago. So that's, I mean,
yeah,
I wonder if, people are just jumping state line as fast as they can, and so it's getting even worse over there.
damn, 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 damn. Yeah, I know we've had a few problems here in Oklahoma, but they're trying their best to get them out of here. Oh,
There he is.
I'm gonna have to hold on a second. Let me fix them here. And add the scene. All right. Okay, just about got you in here. Come on, work with me. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, buddy?
I dedicate that to Steven Crowder. You know, he patented the sipping while he comes on camera, so I had to copy that. Yep.
How are you doing?
Doing well. Yes. Yes. How are you doing, Mr. Thompson and Mrs. Light? How we
Doing
doing
pretty
today?
good here. So, what's been going on with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping up with some of the stuff, and like today, my wife might turn on the washing machine, and it's like right behind me. So, anyways, but the that dude that did that Southport. So I said three mass shootings. You know about the Mormon Church, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now there was a third one that just recently took place, and it had to do with there's a my dog just kicked my camera. Good girly dog. And then another one in not Las Texas. A dude shoots up a casino in Texas and unalives a couple people and injures some others. So we had three events that just took place, which is three. That's pretty wild. And yeah, that was
What was the
and
reasoning behind these? Do they know yet, or?
I don't know the motives of any of them right off. And I do know that the dude that did the Southport shooting in North Carolina
Yeah.
was military. He fought in Iraq and in 05, 06, somewhere around those years. I did a deep
Yeah.
dive in him earlier today, and it talks about they left his Facebook up. I was able to go and look at his Facebook page after all this.
Wow.
Isn't that strange? Yeah, I know. That's to me strange because most of the time, these things get pulled down. Somebody pulls them down. I don't know if who does it, if it's family or three-letter agencies or whatever, but it seems strange to me that these that it, that his name was Edge uh shit, forgot his name now. First name, the dude from Southport. He changed his
Yeah.
name legally. His first name was something de Boivier, and they changed it to this Edge guy. And very well educated he was. He'd been to college. He had a legal law degree where he could do lawyering, and had been trying to become stable. And then he was filing a bunch of lawsuits against a bunch of people. Apparently, something happened to him in
Man.
my dogs were fighting. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but
Yeah. That's okay. This,
oh
this,
man, but
this. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the guy with that did what happened in Southport. They said the shooting was in a boat, and then a guy fled on international waters and then was later apprehended by U.S. Coast Guards. But is it the same guy? Is this our guy? Or is this another fall guy? Because that guy was in the one that did the shooting. Supposedly, this Edge dude was talking about a bunch of things that happened in the military that were conspiratorial and things that happened to him. He had wrote a book. The guy has a book on Amazon called Headshot because he was shot in the
Yeah.
head. And is yes, yes, yep.
Wow, I'm looking
And
that
then
up right
and
now.
then and supposedly the guy that did what happened in that church that he was also 40 years old and had served in Iraq as well.
I've noticed that here in like the past 10 years that there's been a lot of shootings coming from people that's been in the military that's been over there that have come
Yeah,
back and they've like taken on like this is Islam religion or something, and they've come back and they've done these acts of terrorism on our
yeah.
soil. I don't get it. What's going on here with all this?
Well,
Are they?
so another thing too. Yeah, go ahead.
No, no. That's I was done there. Go ahead. Hello.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and go where you were going with that.
Araya is talking right now. You might not be able to hear.
No, I don't hear her.
Yeah, so I'm letting her speak. That's why I'm
I'm gonna step out and come back in.
okay. Go ahead. Araya, like,
Can can you hear her?
so Araya, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think your audio is cut out on my end because I'm listening, I'm monitoring right here, and I don't hear you on the. I can hear me, like, but we can't hear you. I don't know
Yeah, I
what
can hear
happened. We
me.
lost.
Dip out and come back in.
Uh, yeah. So she was just telling a story about her husband and some and kind of correlating some of the things that we were just talking about with. Do you know the guy that ran over all those people? Remember that? And then the
Yeah,
CNN chick goes walking through his house and just so happens to have a Quran opened up to a certain scripture. I mean, it's like the day after it happened. And this was had to have been an active investigation slash crime scene, and they're letting reporters walk through this dude's house. You remember that?
yeah. That's it's not how it's done.
It's not at all how it's done. I did a
Yeah,
video on that and, it was flagged by YouTube, and it's like it was a big no-no to put that video up of that girl walking through this dude's house going, "Oh, yeah, look, this is he's got some leftover materials, looks like it was for making devices." I was like, they if there's any leftover evidence of any kind of weaponry, they would the 3-letter agencies would have grabbed that. Anything that you see there was
exactly.
allowed to be there and left there to create a narrative. And they were trying to they want to say if somebody's against the government and if they're military, then they're automatically right wing. And the next thing you know, we started finding out the correlation between that dude and Muslim religion. And then all of a sudden it got shut down. Nobody wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Araya, say something.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, okay. What I was getting to earlier, just real quick, was that they psychologically really broke down the people that went over there to Iraq and Afghanistan. Like I know very very well two great guys that went over there and came back defeated shells of themselves who could basically, I mean, they never got over what they saw or what they had to do. And I mean, now they're just now 40, 43, 44, 45. So, I mean, I'm not surprised, but that there's going to be more of them, of these like 40-year-olds that went over there to Iraq and stuff, because they got a special side of psychological, um, I don't know, exploitation, torture, training, whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely bad. I've seen it personally.
Yeah. Well, that was the year of all the new jabs they were giving them too. You know, they got all of these excessive amounts of jabs. Do you
They
recall
did.
that?
They did.
And there and a lot of the babies that were born out of that era were the Gulf War babies. You remember that?
Yes.
They had like all these birth defects, and it makes you
Yeah.
wonder what the lasting effects are of these jabs they got. Because I constantly always harp on, what kind of psychological effects are taking place to people who've taken mRNA shots. Did it do something to them mentally? Because it changes their DNA. It's talked about in medical records how they modify your DNA strands so that you resist something or you create this immunity through this DNA modification. Well, if you do that, then doesn't that cause some kind of issue with the way that you think and you act and react
Quite
and
possibly. Yeah.
and then what's the long term? And I mean, I think I did this the last stream I was here and I talked about what happens when two of those people get together and have a baby and have a numerically genetically coded baby that never should have existed according to
Yeah.
God's eyes. Weird.
Yeah, and
So I
I've seen where there's people starting to get admitted to the hospital ever since they started that Tylenol thing,
Oh, yes.
and so
Gosh, what a
so
bunch of idiots.
I know. I mean, just about any pill, and you take a lot of it, it's going to do damage. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just common sense. And so as Trump and RFK Jr.'s started saying that, then they started popping Tylenol right and left, and
Okay, so a lot of these people that do that are influencers, right? And if you wanna get a video right, sometimes you have to take 25 takes to get the exact like, if you're doing a dance to a song and, you take you so they're probably not intentionally, like, eating 25 pills at a time, but they're like, "Well, shoot, I've gotta get this video just right, and I'm lip syncing to this rap song while I do it. I messed up. Let me retake it and take another Tylenol real quick. Let me take another Tylenol real quick. I gotta get" and then they finally they've taken 25 Tylenols, and the thing is I think Rogan even said, "Dude," he's like, "The study that talks about what not only I mean, they brought out Oz because everybody liked Doctor Oz because hey, you might not like Trump, you might not like RFK, but everybody's Doctor Oz." He said, "Look, this Tylenol thing is not good," and these lefties were still into it. But there was a tweet from 2017 from the Tylenol Corporation said, "Hey, you might not want to take this stuff if you're unless you have to because it's really bad for pregnant people." And this is in 17, you know,
yeah,
and the study from Harvard.
Yeah, no, this is totally. It kind of it pisses me off. I'm glad that this is coming out, but also it's not completely true. The Tylenol is the knock on the door. The jab is the adjuvant, and the jab is what still is causing the tism.
Oh yeah, yes,
And
yes, yes.
so what's happening is you're going, and whether you're pregnant and you're getting it or you're taking your baby to get their jabs, and
yeah,
you get the shots, and then the doctor tells you, oh, dope them up with Tylenol as soon as you get home. Well, then that Tylenol stops the liver from producing glutathione, which is actually helps the body fight like inflammation, for instance.
Mhm.
And just to make it simple, and so that then allows those toxins in that jab to cross the blood brain barrier. And then that toxicity in the brain is what causes the tism. And we
Exactly.
have known that for over a decade, if not close to 2 decades, in the anti vax community. So it's kind of like I'm glad that this is coming out, but then again, it's like a smoke screen. It's a little bit of the truth, but it's not the truth. And then we can even
Yeah.
go back to like 2004 when the CDC and the WHO and everybody said that we were going to take out the mercury in all the jabs, but just so happens we're going to go ahead and go through our supply first. So they knew for a fact that the mercury in those jabs were bad. They knew it, and they were going to go ahead and stop using it, but they were not going to lose that money, and so they went ahead and went through their supply first before they
and
started
this
Yeah.
using
is why
Primera as
I
well.
love Araya. She is always on top of her shit. Way to
Well, she's
go, girl.
definitely right. Yeah, the knock on the door, it opens up the key receptors of the body. That's what that does to Tylenol is inflammation. Part of your blood-brain barrier is inflammation. That's part of that. And yeah, it it's that's definitely 100% right. I think that more will come out. It's just that you could see just how much the one side of the aisle couldn't stand the fact that somebody said something about Tylenol. So imagine if
Yeah,
they'd have went to
yeah, it's a test. It's kind of like they're testing the waters, but also it upsets me because Tylenol is getting the brunt of it, but instead of the vaccine
well,
manufacturers. But
I
yeah,
think
we
that
are. We're
more will come out, and be the people have to get acclimated. So now what this does is it allows for them to go back and screw their state. There's gonna be a bunch of people who screwed up, and then they're gonna go back and see the actual data and say, "Wow, these people were right." So when they come out with more information related to the dangers of these jabs, they'll be more receptive and not so, defiant against it. Uh, that's what'll happen. That's why I think they did like a soft core reveal because, like I said, the people Tylenol, they're gobbling that stuff. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And so imagine if they hit people with the real truth, how well that would have been received.
oh yeah,
They
no,
would
I
people
totally
would have been
agree.
out and got 10 or 15 jabs in a row. I'm getting my jab. I didn't That would have been even worse. At least these people are just eating a bunch of Tylenol. Could be worse. But
And it is the problem. The taking the Tylenol after the shot is a big problem. So yes, that
well, a lot
is
of them have that stuff in it. A lot of these
yeah.
jabs have a large dose of
Yeah,
Tylenol in liquid form, so that whenever you take your like flu shot, it causes your fever to rise. It's already there to keep that from happening. So
yeah.
that's in the actual a lot of those. What well, at least what a friend of mine said. I haven't confirmed that data yet, but another friend of mine's pretty smart about that and said, well, a lot of these things, these like your average flu shot that you would take and all that, allegedly has a large dose of Tylenol in it to counteract your immediate fever that's going to come about because you've been injected with some kind of you know virus thing. So that's something that's real. It's real. Not Israel, but it's real.
The other thing they're doing is giving you Benadryl as soon as you get a shot, which is like
Yeah,
again, that's tricking your body. Your body's like, "Hey, we don't want that. We're allergic to that. We're having a problem." And then the Benadryl's like, "Shh, go to sleep."
yeah,
And and then you're it's causing a reaction whether you're aware of it at the time or not. That's going to come back on you. It's causing a side effect, and we're
Yeah.
just hiding it.
People
yeah.
seem to forget Tylenol's been taken off the shelf twice in my lifetime that I can remember. Once in the 80s at the Tylenol murders. And then wasn't it late 90s or in the 2000s? Weren't they off the shelf for like 5 or 6 years because of something they found in their system? Um,
Huh.
don't remember exactly what year it was.
Yeah, there's been
Hey, what does an
recalls
al-
that I'm aware of.
what okay? What does an alcoholic love to do? What are that? Well, I guess I'm from the South. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be what's that? I'm not the hot tooth chick. I'm just some dude from the South, and I can recall a bunch of people, like, sitting there like, sitting at a picnic table with a box of BC powders and a case of beer, drinking beer and eating BC powders. Have anybody ever seen this phenomenon before?
Uh-uh. I
Mm-mm.
Oh
haven't.
my god. Well, there's a lot of caffeine in a BC powder, so it kinda zoots you up a little bit if you take one, and if you drink a beer, just what they do. I've seen a bunch of and it says on the box and see, the acetaminophen has the same effect on your liver as alcohol does. It causes a lot of scarring in your little small capillaries, which then causes your liver to be stopped up. So does alcohol. You mix the 2 together, it creates a deadly potent combination that's triple its effectiveness, and a lot of people aren't being told about that hardcore enough, and I've seen a lot of people get extensive liver damage because even after you've drank the night before, you've still got remnants of alcohol in your system, and the first thing they wanna go do is take a big old FUBC pack, take 2 packs, put one on top of the other, and eat 2 in a row and chase it with a Dr. Pepper, and, that's your go-to thing in the South here to get over a hangover, and that's probably the worst thing you could ever do to your body because of that. Yeah. People in the comment section are like, "Dude," and it's true. Seen this. Seen this.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of the powder that you're talking about.
Oh,
BC
the
powder.
BC Rich
It's like
powder.
well,
Yeah, I know a lot of people that like that more than the pills.
yeah, yeah, because it's like, instead of sniffing a Percocet, you just break it up into a bunch of powder and then eat it. It hits you quicker. I know a thing or two about stuff like that because of my history. But same thing when it comes to a BC powder because it's already kinda chopped up in powder form, so whenever it doesn't take any time to dissolve, it's just hits you right away. But, there's a lot of acetaminophen in a BC powder, and, uh, and that's your go-to thing in the South here for your redneck, hangover. recovery procedure is to take 2 of those and chug a Dr. Pepper, or maybe just drink a beer first thing in the morning with it. And it's just it's no, they don't. I remember being like sitting there looking at these people doing that. I'm like, you do realize that's bad for your liver, and these are like 50-year-old rednecks in really bad shape. And I'm like, they look at me like I'm nuts. What are you talking about? I'm like, look right here. It says on the box, don't take with alcohol. They're like, yeah, everything's bad for you, and they eat another one.
Mhm.
I'm just like, so. But see, just going back to this whole thing about what we were talking about earlier when it comes like and I'm changing the subject kind of quickly a little bit, but the blindness of people, or with when it comes to this the not safety with things that are just over the counter, very good. Well, blindness of people when it comes to social media, internet, and and a social conditioning of people. You guys were talking about the 764, and then 9 angles or 9 angels
But
and
yeah,
Roblox. Um, Wonder what kind of see these people that were doing these mass shootings don't fall in that category of Roblox or 764. So what's driving these people? And what is happening here? Because I haven't. There's nothing. We usually, if there's a manifesto, even they haven't even made up one yet. Especially with the Southport shooter, no manifestos come out. They haven't. I'm like, this is weird.
I'm
No,
going with it's MK Ultra. They're all
yeah,
brainwashed, and like again, it's all to me. I back like early this year, I created shirts, and then the company dicked me over. But one of them was like it just a shirt said it's a psyop, and like I believe that the shootings are real, but again, I completely believe in the false flag narrative to get things pushed or to make points. And then even with the Charlie Kirk thing, I you were touching on it, Will, talking about maybe there being like someone on the inside that kind of like a turncoat, and that's exactly what I think, because
yeah,
my brain took me to James O'Keefe
uh huh,
and his company, and how they ousted him and tried to get him.
yeah.
I mean, they didn't kill him, but they definitely tried to make him lose everything. And
Well, he's a lot more
hey, good
careful
night,
with
mister.
himself. They couldn't, get to James O'Keefe like they could Charlie Kirk, 'cause Charlie Kirk didn't actually, understand the threat he was under because he wasn't doing investigative journalism. He was just talking
yeah,
to people.
Right. And
So
he
O'Keefe,
believed, yeah, he had the faith and whatnot, and he was just in a different mindset. And again, that's
yep,
also why he was a target, because he was the good and the light, and it's literally good versus evil. But I have a real problem, and Chris sent me the guy in the white, the dude doing the baseball signals, that Frank Turk guy. I looked into
yeah,
him, and I watched his little interview there where he talks about where after Charlie was shot and they get in the car, and that whole few minutes, the ride to the hospital. And this is a security team. They said that they had planned for this kind of stuff, but Charlie's bleeding out, and they begin to do, the guy starts doing CPR, chest compressions. And I'm like,
yeah.
why in the world are you doing chest compressions on someone who's
yeah,
bleeding out of their jugular? Like, you're literally just pumping the blood out
yeah,
So,
faster. Why would his security team, one of his best friends, his right hand man, I don't care if you're in the heat of the, like, that's why you go. I have had so much first aid and CPR training because I work in a nursing
hey,
homes and like all that stuff. And it's like, why in the world did they not know? First of all, you can't put a tourniquet around his neck. The dude's gonna be bleeding out. Like, why in the world would you do chest compressions on the guy?
yeah.
So I just think that and then the people grabbing the cameras, and like everybody thinks that Candace Owens is absolutely crazy, and I kind of like what
no, no,
Milo
no,
said.
no. I watched a lot of her
Like,
content. I think that she's definitely good. I like her.
yeah, I mean, I do not agree with 100% of her stuff, but I agree with about
Yeah, I definitely don't.
Yeah.
90% about of it. But like Milo just came out and said, like, I think you guys are afraid that she's not crazy, and that you guys are going to have to accept the fact that she does know what's going on, and she is pointing things out, and she is bringing things to light that just people don't want to hear and they don't want to know. And I think there was an insider. I think that because look what's going on with the whole organization already, and it's just turning so fast. And so
So,
yeah.
you know about the financial thing that was going on? I was talking about this on Dave's channel earlier, but you know about the audit that was fixing that Charlie Kirk wanted to do because all the money that was coming in and going out, he was like, "What the hell's going on?" So uh, eh, because like he said something's not adding up with the money. He said so he was going to hire a team of like Doge people to see what was going on with the money, where it was going, where it was coming in, and who was
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
and and oh
After we keep hearing more of that, it's like, okay, there's another reason, and there's another reason. So it's
yeah,
like, come on,
yeah, 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 and
this
so
isn't just
that
some gay trans boy that was mad, and like, no,
no,
it's
and I sit there and wonder, where that was to me, it was not a 30-06 shot that hit Charlie Kirk because that you would it just would have been
Yeah.
absolutely no way
nothing
possible.
left. He would have blew his head off.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have body armor on. I think that it's almost like he had some kind of a device mounted to his body or something came from a real I seen a puff of smoke come out from under his shirt. That was weird. I
I
watched the
couldn't tell where
video
that
real
came from.
closely.
I saw that. Yep, I saw that
Yeah.
There was
too.
it looked like a puff of smoke came out of his shirt. Bullets don't do that when they hit you. If you don't that just doesn't happen. It's almost like something exploded that was in his on his body, and the shot came from within. And there's a good chance that if this, let's say for instance that transmission guy was working with, had handlers and said, "We've got your ammunition here, this, that, and the other," and that ammunition had, wasn't. I don't know, just something. There seems to be okay. If anybody ever watched the television show where they have like these magicians go on stage and perform their act, and it's really hard to tell what they're doing, and you're watching it. My wife said, Penn and Teller's a good example. They have a show
Yeah.
that comes on, it's syndicated, and you have magicians that are like, not, that go on there and right in front of you perform all of these really intricate tricks, and you can't even really discern what they're doing. And these are just one people that just screwing around with stuff at home. Imagine a bunch of people that want to perform a very intricate magic trick, where they
Oh,
and you
easily.
and they there's a lot of things going on because I mean, I'm sitting there watching this television show. I can't tell where the money or the coins coming from. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even understand how this works. And so these are just little go-to on your television magicians. Imagine what the federal government and big players could do if this was their craft when it comes to hiding and facilitating assassinations and scrambling information. Just how good they could do this and then coordinate, have a team of people to make something look like it was this way, but it actually was another way, and you would never know. Thanks. Good night, mister. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I got up. There's 3 Cobra 2000s sitting right above me right there. If anybody knows about that, that's fun stuff. 2 DAX. I got 2 DAX. I ain't playing over here.
This
Yeah.
guy right here, Good Night. He's amazing. You guys got to get to know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you
the
guys would
whole
get along. Well, real quick, the worst part about all that, Will, is that they all do that and they get off on it. They
Yeah.
love it. They love that they're getting away with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
like
is it wrong for me to be like, what the heck, Erica Kirk? How do you come around and turn around so quickly that you're sitting in a Charlie Kirk chair laughing with a group of people?
Literally, like, I think it was you that said, like, if your dog died, my dog did die in February, and I was a mess. Like, I'll still cry over it. Like, I'm still not
Yeah.
right over it. So,
Yeah.
like,
I'm gonna
how in
get
the
on there and do.
world can you be that stoic?
Yeah. I'm not saying she had anything to do with it, but something just is like, I mean, don't get it.
I haven't even really watched her because I feel a weird
Me
energy
too.
coming from that.
Me too.
So okay, there you go. There's more validation. So, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely saying inside job at this point, and this my little guides or whatever are just showing me James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe, the same thing that happened to him happened here, but in a different way.
Yeah. Like I said, O'Keefe won't get, he sleeps in a bulletproof vest. He's smart. He understands. But, but, so there's,
I would love to
they
work for
understand.
him.
Me
yeah.
too. I wish
I
I
used
wish I'd have to like work at my shop. I'd go do stuff like that, but I have
But you're
to.
absolutely right. I used to do a magic trick. I'd sit there and take a lit cigarette that I'm smoking and shove it into the palm of my hand and just make it disappear right in front of people. And they would trip the hell out. Like, how are you doing that? And it was so simple. It's a basic magician's trick. I'm shoving it in my hand, but what I'm actually doing is shoving it into a fake thumb, and I slide my thumb into it. And I'm sitting there, and it's against me, so they can't tell that it's against me, and they
Yeah,
don't see it. And boom, open my hand up, and they're like, "What the hell? Where'd it go?" And
yeah,
I do that right in front of people. just 2, 3 feet away, and they would trip the hell out about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Love doing that
Well,
at
I mean,
parties.
they like I say, don't what would somebody that had a ton of resources be able to pull off when they wanted
Oh
to pull off the
God,
biggest magic trick? And I'm not saying that he's alive. They definitely took him out, but I don't know. I guess they took him
There's
out.
more there's a financial backing, there's not a passion behind it. It's not just some
Yeah,
kid was upset. Like this was a an operation.
yeah. And
yeah.
the angle from that shot's all wrong too, where it came out the side. That
Yeah, well, my
wasn't the
buddy Matt that I'd stream with, he's like, "Well, it bounced off of this, like, little body shield that he had." And I'm like, I love Matt, and I'm fine, he can have his ideas, and I was thinking to myself, he says, "Well, if the bullet keyholes, which if it comes out of the firearm and it starts going sideways, but, you know, eh," I'm like, I it just isn't go I just I think to me, it would, like, cause more damage to the clothing. There would be more of a rip and a tear, and, yeah, and I think that, I mean, we had exploding pagers. Who did the explode? Was it the Israel people
that
sent a
was
bunch of Iran.
Israel.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
oh
like
man, I had people laughing up. I had the Palestinian flag. I had like pagers for Palestine on there when all that shit was
yeah, I
going
mean,
on,
people were they're standing in the store and, they're
getting their
and
nuts blown off.
blowing they blew their legs off. I mean, it caused a big I mean, that was crazy. And,
Israel's pretty. They're shaky when it comes to that shit. And you look
yeah,
what
and,
happened after Munich.
yeah, yeah, I mean,
So
so,
people like back when I was a bartender, I would blow everybody's mind because I would do a rainbow shot and nobody could figure out how you did it. You just literally, and I'm not even going to say it on here, but you pour just a few things into a tin and then you set up 5 to 7 cups and you literally pour out a rainbow. It comes out blue and then green and then yellow and then orange and then red, and it's a magic trick, and like it blows everybody's mind every single time, and I made a ton of money off of it every single time, and it's the easiest thing to pull off as soon as you know how to do it, as soon as you know. So
yeah,
it's like these things don't like amaze me or like because we're so easily fooled, so easily
Yeah,
fooled.
yeah, yeah, that's something I thought a lot about was just, the trickery that wouldn't take that much. And they did a lot of
no,
handoffs. Something just didn't seem right when the people that and the guy getting SD cards is supposed to be Charlie Kirk's best friend, and I was like, "Well, I know a bunch of people that were best friends, they'd be banging the dude's wife and stuff, and so, you can't sit there and tell me because somebody's best friends that a large financial gain and/or some kind of something, you wouldn't keep, getting the SD cards and leaning up against that wall
It
nonchalantly
wasn't.
while
Yeah, totally an op, and yeah, that's betrayal is
yeah,
betrayal for a reason. It comes from those you don't think it's going to come from. That's what makes it betrayal.
there was supposed to be a detail of not very many people, but a small detail of people were supposed to be focusing on rooftops, and nobody was there to do it. They actually forgot to do that. That was something kind of strange. That actually was a lapse in security. They found this out later because they said, "Well, he had a small fringe security team, and this, that, and the other." So, but there actually was supposed to be a small group of people watching these rooftops, and
yeah.
nobody was except for a bunch of like innocent bystanders who were sending all this video out showing look people running across the thing. But still, I don't know if that would have changed the outcome because um well, it may have because it had messed up their magic trick, but we only heard one shot. So,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people who say that the shot they heard didn't sound like it came from behind them. If you look at the crowd of the people, they turned to their right. A lot of people turned to their right like it was off to the side,
Except that one
you
guy
know?
with the long hair who pointed out in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was weird too. You don't just
He was
stand
very
up
weird. He was very weird. Stood up and pointed out in that direction. Yeah.
and cheered, like
Well, there was
distraction. So
a
many
lot of tweets.
distractions.
So how could Israel have a part in this? Okay, people are like, well, I'm like, well, it's not like they sent a Mossad agent to do this. All you'd have to do is say, for instance, well, I don't know. I mean, if they could have sent a Mossad agent, they just needed a wound up goofball. But normally, some kind of the plans like this get foiled if the trans person was the one that did the shooting, not the trans person, transmission lover did whatever. you normally all the chats on Discord and the meetings of the people and all that usually gets flagged by three-letter agencies, but three-letter agencies are controlled by Israel. And if anybody ever like, it's funny because I listen to a lot of Ian Carroll stuff, and Ian Carroll actually has a factual hour-long segment that he does that tells you everything you need to know about how Israel was formed just 80 years ago, the Israel that we
Really?
know now, and how it was done through the prohibition years and funded by organized crime. And then the J. Edgar Hoover was the leader of the FBI at the time, was then caught up in a bribery scheme because he was a gay man who liked to dress up like women and all this stuff. And then
Yeah, I
they did
remember
these
that.
all these intelligence operations against him, which then put the FBI in the control of the Israel Mossad people. And then it kind of barrel rolled after that because then they started, making this. That's where Epstein comes in a little later on, because that's how all that is. That's why right now Cash Patel won't say anything about what's going on with Epstein, because he was told by the Israel people, don't say nothing because we own you guys. Pretty wild.
Wow.
Didn't some just come up in the news about the Five Eyes too? Didn't they finally just admit something that that's who they just had watching
Yeah,
Epstein?
this is new to me. Yeah, go ahead, tell
I'm
me because
looking.
I
It
don't
was.
know.
I'm looking it up right now. I just read it yesterday, and I don't remember where it was. Oh my gosh.
Check your browser history.
Yeah, it's probably on my iPad. I'll have to, but it just was talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, the Five Eyes. Then I just went past it though because I already know about it. But it was just now in the news. So, anyways, oh well, I'll try to send it to you when I find it. But
Yeah,
It's
um,
called the what now?
Five Eyes. It's how we all spy on each other. Because like we're not like you're not allowed to spy on your own people, which we do anyways because of the Patriot Act. But it says the Five Eyes is an Anglosphere intelligence alliance comprising Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. These
yeah, I was
countries
talking
are
about that in one of my streams. Yeah,
these
you were
countries are
there.
party. Yeah, yeah, because I've been on this, and then there's also the Seven Eyes. There's another one too. These countries
Yeah,
are party to the multilateral UK USA agreement, a treaty for joint cooperation and signals intelligence. Normally, Five Eyes can refer to the group of intelligence agencies of these countries, and that basically
but
you just
that's
they spot we spy on each other to get around our laws, and
yeah.
so
They
that's
they outsource organized crime to facilitate criminal stuff so that it doesn't violate any kind of federal order, so that if something does happen, then it's not a big deal if it gets caught up because it's just criminals doing criminal stuff instead of our government. And so there's a constant. This is why when they say, "Oh, well, organized crime families don't exist anymore," and I'm like, "Well, first of all, they started off as just small little organizations and small family members, and then later on, they decided to conglomerate and like kind of like BlackRock and Vanguard and become less of these people, but a larger group, which is more powerful. And then after that, they kind of came together even more, and then formed into just a small fringe group of family crime syndicates that spawns out to a bunch of subcontracted a holes, and they're all criminals. This is the hour long thing that Ian Carroll does about Israel will blow your mind, because it will show you just how the world is actually being ran by criminals.
Yeah.
This is why it's going to be really hard to dismantle the system, because the criminal system is what put in the legal system, and the only reason why I did that
Yeah.
was not to take them down, is to keep you down, because you as a legal citizen can operate within those laws. But if you break those, then most of the time, to get ahead, you have to break some laws to be able to get information or financial situations straightened out so that you can get ahead. Then all of a sudden you fall into that category of criminal, and then they keep you down, and meanwhile they just function at a level like we've never seen before. And so the criminal system itself is just set up against the law-abiding citizen.
Wow. I'm looking at that Five Eyes. That's crazy. You got the Five Eyes, which is USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Then you got the Nine Eyes, which is them plus Denmark, France, Netherlands, and Norway. Then you got the 14 Eyes, which adds Germany, Belgium, Italy, Sweden, and Spain.
yeah. But you see who's
Yeah,
not on there that we're talking about.
Israel.
Who? Israel.
So who do
You
you
know
think's
why?
running the entire
Exactly.
thing?
Oh, yes, yes. Yes, that's it. That is it.
High five.
Yep.
Yep. So, and what's funny about this kind of is that like my dad was in tech my whole life, and I mean since I was like 9 years old, he's always told me to like he always told me that we're being watched. He's
Oh,
like
always.
as young as like 9 or 10 years old, like, and to be aware and to act accordingly. Wink, wink. So
Those damn Commodore 64s.
I know, right? ColecoVision.
The Atom with the tape deck computer holding system. Remember
Oh
that?
God.
Yeah.
I got a friend. They got 5 trash 80s up in their attic. And they
Oh yeah, the
still work.
PRS 80. Oh
Yep.
yeah. Yeah.
Like those things
Yeah.
belong in a museum.
Yeah. I had a K-Pro one time. Remember those big metal boxes called the K-Pro? It was a blue
Oh
keyboard
my.
that came down off the front, had 2 5 1/4 inch floppy drives.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I had one of
Wow.
those. Sure did. Yeah. But that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Well, it's been an hour. I guess we're gonna wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Give me all the old tech. Good night, Mister. He stays on top of the tech. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And I put your deal in there. I'm gonna put it in there again. And
That's what he
there's
said.
the link, Tandy.
yeah, no. Good night, Mister. We'll definitely enjoy William's stuff.
Oh yeah,
Because
and
I do.
there's his link to Ratchet
Thank-
Productions.
Yeah. Thank you.
So give him a like and follow. And he's got several videos. He does several a day, I believe.
Yeah, I'm kind of cranking out content.
Yeah, he is, and it's cool because I can hang out in the chat with like other people that like It's cool to be around other like-minded people. I rarely get that, so
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah, we
that.
have a fun chat. We have.
Yeah.
I try to make it where people are, when I'm interacting with people too. A lot of the YouTubers don't, but I try to acknowledge people and with that stream. When sometimes one person can we can run the whole stream in a different direction. If I see something I'm like, ooh, let me get on this right quick here. So we have a good time.
No, you're really good at that. Seriously, your news stuff. I've mentioned it earlier, but like I get a lot of my news now from William. Like just all of a sudden he's on it, so I appreciate it.
Same here.
Because you explain it, he explains it well, and he explains it quick usually, and then it's like, okay, now I know everything about that, and it's. I mean, you really do a good job.
To do. I took like the week off. I had to decompress and get away from all the toxic bullshit. And trust me, there was a lot of toxic bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't even talk to Goodnight Mister about that. I don't know why. I should have let him in on that, Chris.
I think I've let him in. I'll have to let you in on it too, on what's been going on.
Yeah,
we can talk about that on the phone. We'll do that on the phone.
Yeah.
That's how rich white girls say phone, by the way. They go phone.
All right. Well, pleasure. Thanks for coming on again, William.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Follow him and keep following us. And I guess with that, we're going to wrap this up.
Take it easy, y'all.
And we were just kidding, Israel.
Don't come get us.
They might have been.
Anything else you want to say before we go?
Don't do drugs.
Or if you don't do drugs, maybe do them. If you already are, then get off of them. Something like that. I don't know.
You need to do some drugs and then stop doing it. That way you can understand life. And then after that, you're good to go.
Exactly. All right, man. Thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it, bro.
My wife said, no.
All right. Well, everybody take it easy. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.